The Democratic Alliance has written to Free State Premier Sefora Ntombela regarding the impact of heavy rains on local communities, especially the agricultural sector. The sector has experienced a setback as a result of fault fires in 2020 and has now experienced a further setback in some areas because of localized flooding and some serious damage to roads. To speak more about this is Dr. Roy Jankielsohn, the DA's provincial leader in the Free State. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. We saw heavy rains and floods wreaking havoc across various parts of the country. I mean, deaths were reported, houses were flooded and leaving a lot of people displaced. Talk to us about the impact of the rains in the Free State.
Good morning, Mpho. The saying that it never rains but it pours is actually applicable to the Free State as well. After a lot of damage experienced due to veld fires in 2020, as you mentioned, our agricultural sector, but not just the agricultural sector, our rural parts of the province have experienced a huge amount of damage to property, infrastructure, and especially our roads infrastructure in the Free State. This has an impact on our agricultural sector, which is a very important sector for our rural economies. It sustains our rural economies. It's a large source of jobs in local areas, and we're very concerned of the impact, especially the economic impact of this on our agricultural sector, which is the only sector in the Free State that is expected to grow in 2021 and also grew last year in spite of the lockdown. The roads infrastructure is obviously very crucial to the province and the economy of the province, and our roads have experienced a huge amount of damage as a result of the recent floods.
Now, growth wasn't only experienced in the Free State when it comes to agriculture. In fact, it was the only one of 9 sectors in the economy to show GDP growth in the second quarter. Of course, that's a major boost for the country at large. What will you be doing next? What steps are you taking to try and ensure that this indeed does become a flourishing economy because of the agricultural sector?
The Free State is the second largest income generating agricultural sector in the country, and that specific district where the damage was experienced is the largest producer of maize and potatoes in the country. So we have been interacting with the Premier and the provincial government and requested that additional resources be made available to assist this sector, but not just the agricultural sector and the farmers alone, but the entire value chain, because the agricultural sector in the Free State is crucial to local economies. It's the only sector that sustains our small towns at this stage, and the roads infrastructure is crucial to that. It's a very important time for agriculture in the Free State. They need decent roads to transport goods and services, especially the crops that will be coming off soon to the local towns, and it's important that the provincial government prioritizes this. I think it's important that we relook at our budget in the Free State this year and determine what the priorities are for the Free State and ensure that the necessary financial resources are directed towards those priorities. And I think the agricultural sector is one of those priorities in the Free State, given that it's the only sector that is expected to grow.
One would imagine that heavy rains are a good thing when it comes to agricultural development across the country. Let's talk about the glimmer of hope and what these heavy rains have really done when it comes to, the dam levels, for instance, and growth of crops.
Well, everything in moderation is good, and rain is something that the agricultural sector obviously depends on. But unfortunately, when one has floods, as we've experienced, a lot of crops have also been damaged. So it's not just the infrastructure and the roads. We've also experienced crops that have been completely washed away as a result of this flooding. So rains are important, but everything in moderation, obviously.
You've penned a letter to the Free State Premier, Sefora Ntombela, asking for assistance. Just give us a sense of the content of that letter and some of your focal points as you try and move forward.
What we did in the correspondence with the Premier is to once again highlight the importance of agriculture in the Free State economy and the provincial government's responsibility towards our provincial economy as a whole, but also this specific sector, which is crucial to us and to food security at a national level as well. And in the correspondence, we've also requested that the Premier take a multi-departmental approach to this, that we bring in all the departments, not just the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, but also other departments like the Department of Roads, the Department of Economic Development, and let's reprioritize our budgets to ensure that the few resources that we have in the Free State are allocated to where they can have the greatest impact. I've been in correspondence with the Premier, but also I've been talking to her. We do correspond regularly on WhatsApp, and we discuss these types of issues there as well. And I'm happy that the Premier is open to these discussions.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. That was Roy Jankielsohn, the DA's provincial leader in the Free State, talking to us about some of the major setbacks that the agricultural sector in that province has faced as a result of the heavy rains and downpours that have been experienced across the country.